Join the community, guys. Subscribe. Listen, guys. Now that we know that Deontay Wilder is most definitely not going to be facing Mr. Anthony Joshua because he just refused to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua, and he instead wants to be facing Mr. Tyson Fury for a rematch. Now that we know that's going to happen, most definitely, let's just forget about Wilder for the moment. Let's forget about Deontay Wilder, and let's think about who Anthony Joshua needs to be fighting next, because we already know that Tyson Fury and Wilder are going to get it on. So, in my opinion, I think the guy who deserves a shot, if it's not going to be Wilder, because he's too much of a punk and he's going to be ducking Mr. Joshua, he has to fight Dillian White. All right, I saw a little piece. I read a little piece where Eddie Hearn was saying that probably within the next week he's going to get on the phone with Dillian White, and he's probably going to be the guy to face Anthony Joshua April 13th of next year, which is great because I think that Dillian White has just been looking phenomenal in his last ever since he lost to Joshua. He's been on a roll. He's been winning every single. He hasn't lost since he lost to Joshua. He's been getting these really good knockouts. The knockout over Derek Chisora, I thought was fantastic. I thought it was a really good knockout win. That was a highlight wheel knockout. He dropped Joseph Parker, something that no other, not even Anthony Joshua managed to drop Joseph Parker. He dropped him twice. He put Lucas Brown into a coma. He's just been on a roll, knocking guys out left from right. And like I said, I believe that the three best British heavyweights are Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Tyson Fury. And then you got guys like, George Joyce. I think George Joyce is a talented guy, but I think he needs to face some of the top guys first before. I think he's talented, but I think he needs to face someone who is like I said, like a legit top heavyweight, and then beat him. And then I'll be looking at him as, okay, this guy's probably the fourth or maybe even third best UK heavyweight. But right now, like I said, he's kind of in the prospect level. So the same thing, forget about Daniel Dubois. This guy is very low in the prospect level. So I think it's a good history when it comes to Dillian White and Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua was the only man to beat Dillian White. Dillian White managed to basically stun Anthony Joshua in the second round. Who could forget that? And there's beef there. These guys have not liked each other for years. These guys first met each other back in the amateurs, nearly a decade ago, where Dillian White beat Anthony Joshua. They almost had a street fight. These guys have always had bad blood. So it's a natural fight to happen. And I always look at Dillian White as a guy that is one of Anthony Joshua's best wins. Because when Dillian White fought Anthony Joshua, he was an undefeated fighter, right? And he really wasn't known. But since then, since losing to Anthony Joshua, look at what he's done in his career, right? He's been just winning. He's just been winning and winning and winning. So as the years go on, Dillian White makes Anthony Joshua look better and better and better because all the guys, because of basically how successful he's been, he keeps winning and winning. And I've been saying this for a while. If Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua were not around, Dillian White would be a heavyweight champion right now. I'm not saying he'll be the unified champion, but I'm saying he probably will hold. Matter of fact, no, he would have hold a belt because he beat Joseph Parker. Earlier this year, Joseph Parker was the WBO heavyweight champion of the world. So imagine if Joseph Parker would have never unified with Anthony Joshua, and then, like, say Joseph Parker was voluntarily defending his WBO belt against Dillian White, he would have lost to Dillian White. And right now, Dillian White would be the WBO heavyweight champion of the world. So he has the ability to become a champion because he beat a former champion, right? He didn't beat a washed-up champion. He beat a former champion who was just relevant this year. So I think he has the ability to become a champion. But like I said, I think the only reason he's not a champion is A, because Deontay Wilder's ducking him, and B, because Anthony Joshua is a tough matchup for him. But overall, I still think when it comes to credibility or deserving, and just to have a guy in your resume, I think having Dillian White in your resume is a good fight for him. And like I said, if Tyson Fury is going to be, if Deontay Wilder is going to be giving Tyson Fury a rematch, then there shouldn't be no problem for Anthony Joshua giving Dillian White a rematch. You know, and again, it's not, like I said, it's not Anthony Joshua's fault that he wanted to be in the ring with Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder just always uses an excuse or gives people an excuse as to why he shouldn't be facing this guy. And I already told you guys, I feel like he's trying to wait until Anthony Joshua loses so then he could be like, I don't have to fight this guy anymore because he lost. And just like he did with Klitschko. Everybody was begging him to fight Klitschko, but once Klitschko lost, that's it. He stopped talking about Klitschko because he was like, he lost. I don't need to fight him no more. I think that's the mindset of Deontay Wilder's team. I think Dillian White is a tough fight for anyone. I think this is one of the reasons why Deontay Wilder is not fighting or doesn't want to. Deontay Wilder acts like Dillian White is a nobody. He's just ignoring everything he's done in the past 4 years, all the work he's put in. So I just think he's doing that because he really doesn't want to fight him. He should have fought him. He should have defended his belt against him. If I'm not mistaken, Dillian White did earn. He did fight like 3 mandatories or 2 mandatories or whatever to get himself in the position to face Wilder. But it was a thing where they kept telling him he had to fight this guy, and Wilder kept saying no. But of course, when it came to a Dominic Brazil, he just had to fight 1 title eliminator against that bum Eric Molina, right? But Dillian White had to fight like 3 title eliminators, and still he won't get the fight. That's what I find hilarious. Dillian White had to fight like 3 title eliminators, and he still couldn't get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. But Dominic Brazil fights 1 title eliminator against that bum Eric Molina, and he's still in the mandatory position. And he always goes around saying, you're going to fight me, Wilder, because he knows he's in the mandatory position. But he didn't have to fight the amount of fights or the quality of opponents that someone like Dillian White had to go through. He didn't fight no Joseph Parker. He didn't fight no Derek Chisora. And he didn't fight no Lucas Brown, Mr. Dominic Brazil. He fought that bum Eric Molina and that guy that he just knocked out. I never heard of that guy, so I'm not going to be impressed with that win. I never heard of that guy. But it just goes to show you that when it comes to like the WBC, they... That's why I said they be protecting Wilder, man. They be putting him in there. When it comes to mandatories that they feel are a legit threat, they make them work harder, as opposed to when they see guys that are like easy fights for Wilder. They give him the easy fights, and then they make it easy for them to get a title shot against Wilder. And I guess it's because they know they're easy opponents for Wilder. So I really want to see Dillian White get a shot against Anthony Joshua. Do I think he's going to win? No, but I think that he's gotten better as a fighter since he fought Anthony Joshua. But then again, Anthony Joshua got better since they fought. Like I said, I think the build-up will be great. There's a rivalry there. That's British beef right there. And like I said, just for the sake that Dillian White deserves it, because Dillian White's been really trying to get a title shot. He's been begging for a title shot, the title opportunity. So even if he loses, at least he got the chance, At least he got the chance to face a champion. And even if he loses. But like I said, if let's say he wins, you never know. Maybe he wins. And that would just change everything. That would change the whole heavyweight landscape, because then I wonder if Wilder would fight Dillian White if Dillian White beat Anthony Joshua. Who knows? Maybe he will, because like I said, I think Wilder's trying to wait until Anthony Joshua is like... until Anthony Joshua loses, because once you lose, then he could use that as an excuse as to why he don't want to fight you. I'm curious to know, and I'm curious to see if Deontay Wilder would fight Dillian White if Dillian White managed to defeat Anthony Joshua. But like I said, that's a tough fight for Dillian White. I think if he were to beat Anthony Joshua, that would be... I don't think it'll be an upset, because Dillian White is a top heavyweight, and I only consider it an upset if a guy is not supposed to beat you, or if a guy is not supposed to be or if a guy is not on your level, basically. If a guy is not on like the guy's level, and there's no way he should be beating this guy, and this guy, his opponent, is miles ahead in terms of skill set, and then he ends up beating him. That's what I think is an upset, because that wasn't supposed to happen. But when it comes to Dillian White, he is an elite heavyweight, so I wouldn't consider it an upset if he beat Anthony Joshua. But let's just put it this way. I do feel that Anthony Joshua would beat him. But like I said, I think this is more of who deserves it. Like I said, even before Tyson Fury fought, Deontay Wilder. I was pissed off when Deontay Wilder gave Tyson Fury that title shot, because during this time Dillian White was begging, fighting these mandatories, putting himself in these positions to get in the ring with Wilder. And then Tyson Fury comes back out of nowhere after 2.5 years layoff, fights two bums, and just like that, he leapfrogs Dillian White, and he gets a shot over Wilder. But Wilder wasn't giving the shot to Dillian White when he was the one who deserved it. So this is why I was so pissed off when Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury was made. But if you think about it, it was kind of like cherry pick gone wrong, because Deontay Wilder ended up looking like absolute trash against the guy. I said that he's fighting Tyson Fury because he looks at it as an easy fight. Tyson Fury was coming off a massive layoff, and it kind of backfired on him, because he still got exposed and he still looked like shit against a guy who was coming off a 3-year layoff, and it just showed boxing fans, or at least it showed me, that Deontay Wilder is really just such a poor boxer, because he could still get schooled, he could still get outboxed against a guy coming off a 3-year layoff who's not at his best right now. But it just goes to show you how limited of a boxer Deontay Wilder really is. So I really hope that Dillian White gets that shot against Anthony Joshua. And I'm pretty sure he will, because unlike Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua actually gives these fighters these dangerous fights, opportunities to face him. And he defends his belts against him. Anyway, guys, stuff to say. If you enjoyed the video, thank you very much, and subscribe, guys. I'm out.